Hello, my name is Leopold Ajami. I'm the founder of Novel Philosophy Academy in Dubai, and I was asked to share one of my favorite quotes or passage from Ayn Rand. So I picked a passage from Atlas Shrugged. But before I read it, I just want to ask you a couple of questions, or a question actually, and give you some context about it. So if you've ever felt that you are a victim of your own goodness, of your own achievement, if you've ever wondered why sometimes what you've considered maybe all your life as the truth and the good is in fact destroying you, then this passage is for you. And I just want to say that I still remember where I was when I read this passage. I was sitting on my floor in my living room, not daring to stand up, not daring to stop reading, feeling excited and curious about what's going to happen. And I was also feeling at the same time anxious because I knew what I was about to learn is going to happen with me. Because back then, I've been in a very similar situation to Hank Rearden. And it's a passage from him talking to Dagny. I had accepted the one tenet by which they destroy a man before he started, the killer tenet, the breach between his mind and body. I had accepted it like most of their victims, not knowing it, not knowing even that the issue existed. I rebelled against their creed of human impotence, and I took pride in my ability to think, to act, to work for the satisfaction of my desires. But I did not know that this was virtue. I never identified it as a moral value, as the highest of moral values, to be defended above one's life, because it's that which makes life possible. And I accepted punishment for it, punishment for virtue at the hands of an arrogant evil, made arrogant solely by my ignorance and my submission. When I read this passage, I remember I understood, at least partially back then, what Rand later explained, which is that I've cut myself into two. And she talks about that. She talks about how sometimes we face this dichotomy between, for example, our life and our business, or our minds and our bodies. And I was seeing that, I was living my personal life by one code and running my own business by another code. And I started seeing, for example, that, you cannot partner in business with someone who is a cheater in his personal life and expect him to be virtuous in business, as an example. But think about it. That's the advice we get every time, whether in movies or in catchphrases. There's nothing personal. It's just business. Or it wasn't love, it's just sex. Or maybe, this is not moral, but at least it's very practical. So yeah, I wanted to share this with you because that's something very personal with me that I suffered from, but I learned it. And Ayn Rand helped me understand the principle.